Did you know that one tiny mistake in your garden can turn your carrots into twisted, gnarled monstrosities that look like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie? Today, we're uncovering the top mistakes to avoid when growing root vegetables, so you can harvest the biggest, tastiest veggies on the block. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. Alright, let's talk dirt. I mean soil. Just like you wouldn't build a house on a shaky foundation, you don't want to plant your root veggies in poorly prepped soil. Compacted soil is the enemy of root vegetables. It's like trying to grow a prize-winning carrot through concrete. Roots need loose, airy soil to reach their full potential. So how do you fix compacted soil? Easy. Grab a garden fork or a broad fork and loosen up that soil. Go down about 12 to 18 inches depending on what you're planting. Amending your soil with good quality compost is like giving your root veggies a superfood smoothie. It adds essential nutrients and improves drainage. Remember, a healthy garden starts from the ground up. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is cramming too many plants into one space. When you plant root vegetables too close together, they start competing for resources, kind of like siblings fighting over the last slice of pizza. Overcrowding leads to stunted growth, misshapen vegetables, and even disease. So, what's the solution? Give your plants some breathing room. Spacing is key when it comes to growing healthy root vegetables. Check the back of your seed packet for recommended spacing guidelines for each specific vegetable. Remember, less is more when it comes to planting. Alright, let's talk about soil pH. Think of pH as a measure of how acidic or alkaline your soil is. It's like the Goldilocks of gardening. It needs to be just right for your plants to thrive. Most root crops prefer a slightly acidic to neutral soil pH, typically between 6.0 and 7.0. If the pH is too low, too acidic, or too high, too alkaline, your plants won't be able to absorb nutrients efficiently. So how do you know what your soil pH is? Easy. Grab a soil pH test kit from your local garden center. They're super easy to use and will tell you exactly where your soil stands. If your pH is off, don't panic. You can adjust it. For acidic soil, adding lime can raise the pH, while sulfur can lower the pH in alkaline soil. Follow the instructions on your chosen amendment and retest your soil after a few weeks. Remember, getting your soil pH right is crucial for healthy root vegetable growth. It's worth taking the time to test and adjust if needed because it can make all the difference in the world. Okay, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, watering. It's essential for plant life, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, especially when it comes to root vegetables. The biggest mistake I see people making is inconsistent watering. Root vegetables need consistent moisture to thrive. Overwatering can lead to root rot, while underwatering stresses the plant, causing stunted growth and even cracking. So what's the Goldilocks zone for watering root vegetables? The key is deep, infrequent watering. Instead of giving your plants a little sprinkle every day, water deeply a couple of times a week. This encourages those roots to grow deep down into the soil, searching for moisture. A good rule of thumb is to water until the top inch or two of soil is moist. You can use your finger to test it. If it feels dry, it's time to water. Now, fertilizer can be beneficial, but too much of a good thing can actually harm your root vegetables. The mistake I often see is gardeners going overboard with fertilizer, thinking it's the key to bigger and better vegetables. But when it comes to root crops, less is more. Over-fertilizing can lead to lush top growth at the expense of root development. Root vegetables are generally light feeders, meaning they don't need a ton of extra nutrients, especially if you've already amended your soil with compost. If you do choose to fertilize, opt for a balanced, slow-release fertilizer and apply it sparingly. Remember, too much nitrogen can lead to excessive leafy growth and smaller roots. Focus on providing a balanced nutrient profile and avoid overdoing it. Alright, let's talk about timing. Planting at the right time of year for your specific climate is crucial for successful root vegetable growth. Planting too early or too late can lead to all sorts of problems, from poor germination rates to stunted growth and even bolting, which is when the plant prematurely produces flowers and seeds. So, how do you know when the time is right? The best resource is your local frost dates. Root vegetables generally fall into two categories: cool season crops and warm season crops. Cool season crops, like carrots, radishes, and beets, prefer cooler temperatures and can be planted a few weeks before your last frost date in spring or in late summer for a fall harvest. Warm season crops, like sweet potatoes, need warmer soil and should be planted a few weeks after your last frost date. Remember, checking your local frost dates and understanding the specific needs of each root vegetable will set you up for success. Alright, let's face it. Gardening isn't always a walk in the park. Sometimes unwanted guests show up and they're not there for a tea party. We're talking about pests and diseases that can wreak havoc on your precious root vegetables. Ignoring the signs of pests or diseases is a surefire way to sabotage your harvest. Common pests that plague root vegetables include root knot nematodes, carrot rust flies, and wireworms. These sneaky critters can damage your roots, leading to stunted growth and misshapen vegetables. The key to managing pests and diseases is early detection and prevention. Regularly inspect your plants for any signs of trouble, such as wilting, discoloration, or unusual spots on the leaves or roots. If you do spot a problem, don't panic. There are plenty of organic and chemical solutions available. Neem oil, insecticidal soap, and diatomaceous earth are great natural options for pest control. For diseases, copper fungicides and baking soda solutions can be effective. Remember, prevention is always better than cure. Alright, let's talk about a gardening practice that might seem a little counterintuitive at first. Thinning. It's the process of removing some seedlings to give the remaining ones more space to grow. When seedlings are too close together, they compete for resources, leading to stunted growth and smaller vegetables. By thinning them out, you're giving the remaining plants the best chance to reach their full potential. So, how do you thin seedlings effectively? First, wait until the seedlings have developed a few sets of true leaves. Then, choose the healthiest looking seedlings and carefully snip off the weaker ones at the soil level. Remember, thinning might seem like you're sacrificing some of your harvest, but in reality, you're investing in the health and productivity of the remaining plants. It's a small price to pay for a bountiful harvest of impressive root vegetables. Alright, we've reached the moment we've all been waiting for, harvest time. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is harvesting your root vegetables too early or too late. Timing is everything when it comes to enjoying the fruits, or should I say, roots, of your labor. Harvesting too early can result in small, underdeveloped vegetables that lack flavor. On the other hand, waiting too long can lead to tough, woody roots that are past their prime. So how do you know when the time is right? The best indicator is often the size of the vegetable itself. Check your seed packet for maturity guidelines for each specific variety. Remember, patience is key when it comes to harvesting root vegetables. Wait for those telltale signs of ripeness, and you'll be rewarded. Congratulations, you've successfully harvested a bountiful crop of beautiful root vegetables. Now the question is, how do you keep them fresh and delicious for as long as possible? Proper storage is crucial for maintaining the quality and extending the shelf life of your hard-earned harvest. First things first, remove any leafy green tops before storing. The greens will continue to draw moisture from the roots, causing them to wilt faster. Store your root vegetables in a cool, dark, and humid environment. The ideal temperature is between 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 40 degrees Fahrenheit, with moderate humidity. A root cellar is the dream, but if you don't have one, you can store your vegetables in perforated plastic bags in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. Another great option is to store your root vegetables in a box filled with slightly damp sand or sawdust. This helps maintain humidity and keeps the vegetables crisp. Just make sure the sand or sawdust is not soaking wet. Remember, proper storage can significantly extend the shelf life of your root vegetables, allowing you to enjoy your harvest for weeks or even months to come. And there you have it, the top mistakes to avoid when growing root vegetables. By sidestepping these common pitfalls, you'll be well on your way to a garden that's the envy of the neighborhood. Remember, growing your own food is an incredibly rewarding experience. And with a little knowledge and effort, you can harvest the biggest, tastiest, and most impressive root vegetables you've ever seen. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow garden enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe to Don't Do This Guide for more tips on how to avoid common mistakes in all your DIY projects. We've got a whole library of resources to help you succeed with your gardening adventures and beyond. Happy gardening, and we'll see you in the next video.